Amazon Prime's American superhero show The Boys has been a smash hit during its 3-season run so far, and the upcoming Season 4 promises to keep the momentum going. But with Black Noir set to return, what implications could that have for the comic Homelander's twist? Today, we are discussing how Black Noir's return will affect the Homelander plot and how Frenchie previously predicted his death in Season 3. Stay with us. First up, when can we expect the show to return? With Season 3 only just airing earlier this summer, it's likely we won't see a 4th season anytime soon. However, we can reveal that the 4th season has begun production, and we will also be introducing a couple of new characters, which we're big fans of. Valerie Curry and Susan Hayward will be stopping by as Vought Soups, Firecracker, and Sister Sage, while Jeffrey Dean Morgan of The Walking Dead fame will also be joining the cast in an as-yet undisclosed role. Given the fact that the 3rd season only dropped this summer, we can probably expect a similar time frame for Season 4, obviously depending on when production finishes. Don't be surprised if The Boys Season 4 isn't with us until the latter part of 2023 though. The first season was released back in July 2019, whilst the second season dropped 14 months later in September 2020. However, the gap between the second and third season was a little longer, undoubtedly due to COVID, with a jump of 1 year and 8 months. With all this in mind, Season 4 of The Boys could be with us anytime between July 2023 and March 2024. It is thought the show takes around a year to make from the day filming starts to the day it is shown on screens, so the fact they have already begun filming is definitely a plus. Are you guys excited for the new season? Next up, what can we expect plot-wise? Let's see. Well, anything regarding the Season 4 plot is simply guesswork at the moment, but that's not going to stop us from throwing our ideas into the mix. As we know, the boys are set on taking down the Soups, but with the new position Victoria Newman is enjoying at the end of Season 3, the boys are set to go up against the most powerful Soup ever in the upcoming season. This time, though, they will have a little help in the form of Starlight, and Butcher will need all the help he can get, given the danger he is in after ingesting Temp V. Eric Kripke recently discussed the plot for the 4th season, saying they're up against the DeSantis ticket. That's part of the fun of getting into Season 4, which we're just figuring out for this, but he's got a crazy ticking clock. He's got so much to do that he hasn't done. He then discusses if Butcher is even self-aware enough to realize that he is causing his own downfall, before then suggesting he isn't even sure if he has it within him to change, which they will be looking at in Season 4. And with Homelander more unstable than ever, it will be interesting to see where this storyline goes to. What do you guys think will happen? So, how is the return of Black Noir going to impact Homelander? Let's see. The 4th season of The Boys is set to reintroduce a version of Black Noir, which is more than likely going to kill the twist we saw for him and Homelander in the comics. As we saw, Season 3 saw the end of Black Noir as he was killed off, but showrunner Eric Kripke has recently reassured fans that actor Nathan Mitchell will stay on as a new version of Black Noir in the 4th season. By all accounts, the new version of Noir is pretty funny, which means he is probably going to be pretty different from the original Black Noir character-wise. However, Mitchell staying on as Black Noir is sure to have implications for the Homelander storyline, and fans have suggested it will probably kill the Black Noir and Homelander twist from the comics. As you will know if you've read the comics, Black Noir is revealed to be a clone of Homelander, whose mission it is to kill and replace Homelander if he steps out of line. Of course, Noir realizes just what sort of position he's in and coaxes Homelander into thinking that he committed atrocities, including assaulting Butcher's wife. The twist was never certain to happen in the show anyway, and with all the changes made to Black Noir, it now seems less likely. There is still a way to make it happen, but considering Mitchell looks nothing like Homelander, it is very unlikely. What do you guys think? What else do we know about Black Noir's return then? Stay tuned to find out. Well, as of right now, things are all very hush-hush, so not much has been explained. However, that won't stop us from taking a little stab at how we think he might return. Of course, the easiest and most plausible explanation for the return of Noir—
people don't even know it's me under this thing. I gotta wear it just to get a cap—
is simply a copycat, someone who wants to keep the legacy of Noir going even after his death. As we know, this has happened before in the world of superheroes, so this wouldn't be the most shocking way for him to come back. Another explanation explanation is that Black Noir's death still hasn't been announced. In this scenario, someone could have been forced to take on the persona of Black Noir in order to keep the mythical image of the Seven going. As we saw, Homelander is pretty cut up about the fact that he had to kill his friend, so could Homelander himself be behind the return of Black Noir?
So, you were in his team. You knew him. What was he like?
It stands to reason that Homelander could possibly have arranged to have someone step in as Noir in a bid to hold on to the dear memory of his friend. Of course, this all sounds a little far-fetched, but this is The Boys we are talking about, right? There are plenty of other ways Black Noir could be reintroduced, but we want to hear your theories below, so fire away. So, how can the showrunners still incorporate the comic Homelander clone twist? As we've explained, the twist is now pretty unlikely to happen, but there is still a possibility, and as we have previously said, this is The Boys after all. Of course, Nathan Mitchell looks nothing like Homelander, but that doesn't mean the show couldn't develop a non-identical clone, right? In this scenario, Homelander wouldn't need to be replaced by Noir, but it is still possible to portray the character as a bit of a sadist who has his sights set on torturing Homelander. The third season made the idea of the Homelander and Black Noir twist pretty unlikely in the next season, and with Mitchell returning, it seems to have put any notion of the twist being used in the upcoming season to bed. When we also look at just how different the character of Noir in the show is to his corresponding character in the comics, it seems as though the writers have made their peace with not copying the comic book storyline word for word. There are plenty of other examples of the show not following the comics directly, so this could simply be another. The Boys show has tried its hardest to be its own thing, and it appears as though the showrunners are happy with the path they appear to be on. What has been the best season of the show so far in your opinion? And finally, we're talking Frenchie's prediction. Stay with us. As we now know, Frenchie was killed off in the previous season, but a quick look back at a conversation between the character and Billy Butcher from the comics reveals he almost certainly knew how he would end up meeting his maker at the hands of Butcher. Before Butcher recruited Huey Campbell, he enlisted the help of the Frenchman, aka Frenchie, Serge, to serve on the team. Of course, Frenchie was a loyal team member, but ends up being killed by Butcher, so he cannot stop him carrying out his dastardly plans. In the comic book, The Boys, Dear Becky #4 by Garth Ennis and Russ Braun, Frenchie appears to see his future all mapped out before him as he and Mother's Milk are involved in a conversation with Butcher. Confronting him as he tries to get more information on Stormfront by planting a bug, Frenchie and Mother's Milk object to his methods. However, Butcher justifies what he has done by relating it to a story from his past when a commander in his platoon blew himself up with a landmine. Frenchie then alludes that it might have been Billy's fault and lightly accuses Butcher of fragging the commander, the act of a soldier killing another soldier on his side, suggesting it is exactly the sort of thing he is capable of. Of course, this comes full circle later as Butcher plants explosives in the Boys' base, which ends up killing Frenchie. Although he never explicitly predicted how, he definitely knew Butcher was capable of this sort of treachery, which was confirmed later. As always, thanks for joining us today, and remember to stop by again next time for some more fun and games. And why not do us a favor by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Bye guys!